So anyways, I'm learning the way restaurants do pizzas, and I learned like there's a difference in pizza cheese, which I didn't know, and which is why, it always tastes better when you order a pizza versus like the pizza you make at home. In most cases, just because the cheese has a different texture, right? I said that funny. But the cheese is a different vibe, different texture. It's always different when you order it versus when you make it yourself. Okay? Um so I'm learning all these things as I go. But the most important thing I've learned is that I'm in training. No one has screamed at me. No one has told me you're doing this wrong. No one has said anything. And I didn't really have to learn anything about dishwashing, right? Um, I've had a couple of pointers here and there, like the baking sheets, like the oven sheets have to go in separate and they don't use a rack. I've learned that, right? Otherwise, it's not going to fit in the dishwasher. And I've learned that the silverware has to go in 3 times. Um, but in general, it's just a job and you pick up things and you take care of stuff and you wash things, right? And out of all the criticisms and everything else I've received in my life, no one has ever really had to criticize me per se the way they have, okay? And coming from where I've come from and knowing what I know that that's in general not the way the world works. The world is full of critics. The world is full of mean people. The world is full of all kinds of bad, right? But the world is also full of all kinds of good. But I didn't learn that until recently. Yeah. But a lot of that bad had to come to the forefront for me to finally stop and see, oh my gosh, okay. A lot of things had to be pointed out to me because I went around my entire life thinking that I was the problem of everything, even when I wasn't. So anytime something bad happened, I was always at fault, or so I thought. But it turns out that I'm not, right? And so in my most recent marriage, and even in my prior marriage, a lot of times things would get projected onto me, and I didn't know what projection was until recently, but things would get projected onto me, and then I'd get yelled at, I'd get screamed at, I'd get abused, right? And again, my last husband never laid a hand on me. He threatened to a whole lot, but he never did. And what makes that even worse is that when someone does that to you and they know that you've been hit in a prior relationship, they know that you've had broken ribs, they know that you've had black and blue face, they know that you've had numbered things and sharp things held at your face, and they choose to threaten you with that type of behavior, it makes it even fucking worse. Yeah? It does. And narcissism and that type of psychological warfare is way worse than being hit. Neither of those things I deserved. I never deserved the abuse that I endured. But I used to think I did. And that's the difference now, right? But anyway, back to what I was saying is that now I'm in an environment where the only thing I get in trouble for is for saying sorry too much. But they don't know, what I've endured, and I'm not bringing that with me into my new job. I talk about it on here to try to help people heal, but I'm not telling them about it. But I think that at least a couple of them understand that the reason why I say I'm sorry all the time is so that I don't get screamed at or so I don't get hit. And obviously no one's going to be screaming or hitting me at this new job, or at least I don't think they will. Everyone seems very reasonable and nice. But I am always afraid of being in the way. I'm afraid of doing something wrong. I'm afraid of making someone mad. And that's finally dropping. And it's funny, when your cortisol levels drop, how much easier and quicker your weight comes off, how much easier and quicker you're able to have moments of joy. I will say that, right? But the one thing I did learn the other day is that I went to pick up the meat slicer blade, and I started to grab at it, and I stopped, and I went, I'm pretty sure this is the blade, even though it doesn't look sharp. I'm like, I think this is the blade of the meat slicer, right? And so I asked, and it turned out, yes, it was. And then they showed me how to properly handle it so that I didn't cut my hand off, right? Which is nice. But had I not asked, had I been too afraid to ask, I probably would have picked it up and ended up with a pretty big gash in my hand, right? But I finally healed myself back into knowing that if I don't know the answer to something, it's okay to ask. And I didn't have to worry about a man screaming at me, yelling at me, telling me I'm a fucking idiot, telling me I'm a stupid bitch, threatening to throw hands on me. And I came home that evening a little bit disgusted because it's a gross job, right? And, it's a little stinkity. But I came home that evening with such gratitude to be in an environment where I'm not getting screamed at, where I'm not getting gaslit. No one was like, you're an idiot. Don't you know anything? And they didn't gaslight me into thinking there was something wrong with me because I wasn't sure if that was the blade or not, right? And I came home to a home. To a home where a dog was excited to see me. To a home where my son was excited to see me. But most importantly, to a home where I feel safe. Yeah. And if you were to come from where I've come from and know what I know, you would understand that it is a big deal to have that. Yeah. It is a big deal to have safety. It is a big deal to feel loved. It is a big deal to not have another worriment in your life after the hard, stinky job is done with, right? And it is a big deal that I'll be able to make my car payment, and a big deal that I'll be able to pay my insurance, and a big deal that I'll be able to pay my rent, right? So I will work all of the jobs, I will do all of the businesses, and I will do whatever it takes to keep that. And so if it means going to get stuck in with plasma twice a week out of both of my arms, or dishwashing, or waitressing, or doing whatever job no one else wants to do, I'll gladly do it. Because I feel safe where I'm at. And even though there might need to be more appliances or something if I'm able to buy this house, so help me God, I will make it the homiest home ever. But someone out here needed to hear this because I'm getting such chills, and I have 3 shirts on right now because I'm frozen. Well, I was frozen. But you don't get chills with 3 shirts on for no good reason. So someone out here needed to hear that. And if you are going through the things like I have, just know that there are ways to get out, and you can. Even when it doesn't feel like you can. Even if it means that you spent $3,000 on appliances. Even if it meant that you spent time, care, dedication, love, and you gave your all to something that never gave you anything back in return except for heartache. And I'm telling you this because a little over a year ago today, I was sleeping on a floor. I was grateful for one packet of oatmeal. And now I'm in a house. And I'm grateful to be here. And I left with nothing. And that mofo got everything. And he still gets to come to the hunt this year that I'm a part of. And I'm still going to do my job that I need to do for this hunt. But I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to show up or not at the actual event. I don't think my vehicle would be safe. I don't think I would be safe, and I don't even think he knows. There's a YouTube channel with him screaming at me on it. I don't think he knows that there's 10 videos at least of how he abused me behind closed doors when no one else was listening. I don't think he knows that there are books coming out. I don't think he knows there's Netflix chatter. I don't think he knows that there are movies chattering about that, depending on whether they edit things or not, may be out in the next year or so. I don't think he knows all of that. Because I'm pretty sure if he did, I wouldn't be here. And you see about this in national news. One of the ladies was on TikTok where that happened. Another star came forward about her stuff. And it didn't end well for them. And who am I? I'm not anybody. I'm just a lady that chose to come forward and share her information so that other people might not have to. But I'm a waitress. I'm a mom. I'm a dishwasher. I'm a cleaning company lady. I'm a notary public. And God knows what else I'm going to do here shortly. But by the time I'm done on this planet, I sure as hell hope to pay off all the debt that I incurred because of all this. I sure as heck hope to be a homeowner. And I sure as heck hope to leave a legacy for my sons. But above all, I hope that someone out there listened to this today. And above all, I hope that if they're going through anything remotely close to what I've had to endure in my life, that this helps them leave. Yeah. So God, please bless the listener with boatloads of abundance, boatloads of prosperity, boatloads of whatever they need in their life, boatloads of miracles. Please bless me financially enough to get my bills paid off so I can buy this home. So that I can buy Walker more things. Even though I think he's all right now, right? So that I can help my son start his business. So that I can help other people. And so that I can keep coaching other people to get away from their abusers. But just know, if you've listened to this, and you do make it out, even after you leave, even after you feel safe in your new home, that you're still going to have things come up in your life that may or may not trigger you, right? It might be you unloading the dishwasher and thinking about something. It might be hearing a loud noise and ducking because you don't know if you're going to get smacked. You might hear something that sounds like a firework outside because someone's practicing. And it might make you duck for a minute. Because CPTSD is not a fun thing to deal with either. But it can and will get better. I love you. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay well, stay hydrated, check on your people. I love you. Bye.